Okay, so this video is going to be based off of one of my blogs. I eventually will put the website up under the videos on YouTube so all of you can read them after I get a computer, because I can't edit my website or my blogs for additional information, as well as trying to write my own books talking about Celtic myths from all perspective and what would be the pre-Celtic myth parallels and explaining Celtic mythology as a whole. I have some of my book on this YouTube channel that you can look at. It was chapter 1. And I feel like this topic, it really involves into Celtic stories too and Celtic myth. So this topic is very spiritual and very educational and should be talked about. And all my sources for this is scholarly work from a lot of scholars and historians that I write about in my blogs. So we're going to dive deep into ancient history and various cultures that have the triple spiral, as well as trying to break down what the triple spiral represents in multiple cultures and belief systems. The Triskelion, the triple spiral. The three-spiral symbol is very much associated with ancient Celts, but evidence abroad can also be found. So what does the triple spiral mean? First off, the name of the triple spiral is Triskelion, Triskel, Trimurti, or Trimurti spiral. Everything follows in groups of 3. Even in single spiral, as well as the double spiral in ancient Greece, triangles are associated with the afterlife. The triangle represents 3 points of death. In a remote island known as Sicily, the triple spiral, or remnants of the triple spiral, the triple legs, emanate from the stories of the tales of Medusa, who was a Gorgon in Greek mythology. Her face, once so beautiful, turned into that of looking like a corpse, indicating death. The where you are now and the where you went up to, the underworld. On the Manx flag, a country in the Irish Sea, known as the Isle of Man, has 3 legs on its flag. It is believed the legs are running towards the sun. In another previous study or blog that I blogged about on my website, I talk about the singular spiral and how it's associated with the sun and the galaxy and the rotation of the moon and sun, which is found in today's present-day Galicia, Spain, and also talking about the afterlife, as well as the life we live now, following the teaching of 3. The 3 legs of man motto has been associated with the symbol since about 1300 after death. Now, I'm sorry for my mispronunciations, but I'm not completely fluent with Latin. But this is my pronunciation, Kozig Jilas Sabit, which literally translates to whichever soever you throw it, it will stand. And here in that regard, it is the mortal teaching of saying no matter what you do in this life, we're all going to the same place. And when it comes to Celtic belief, that same place would be the in-between, where we either get reincarnated or we get sent into the other world, which is the teaching of 3. Either way, you can't avoid death. The model for the Manx Isle of Man, although that was established in the 1300s, it has Latin roots. There are 2 theories to the meaning of the island's motto. Some stories Manx associate the Triskel with the god Menin MacLear, which is spectrums of Celtic mythology found in Irish myth, Scottish myth, and Manx myth. He is a sea god, which is tied to a pre-Celtic god, which I talk about later in this blog. So in other sense, when you're dead, you're dead. But the passageway to death or afterlife is life. Groups of 3. What is clear about the ancient Celtic world is that they too believe in life after death. Archaeological evidence provide details of the ancient Celtic people needed to cross over into the other world. It is believed the other world is free of disease and is a paradise. And it is believed that giving gifts to altars of the gods would transcend you into the other world, as well as having your own items to take with you when you die, such as torques. Same for jewelry, such as torques, which indicates the deceased was going on a journey and that they would need these items when they reached their ultimate destination. Detail even in the medieval Celtic literature in Britain and Ireland, stories abound of heroes visiting the otherworld, where it is regarded as a land of order, happiness, and plenty. Also due to the single spiral being associated with the sun and galaxy in space, that may have inspired stories about the triple spiral, which inspired the triple spiral representing the sun, water, and land. But when it comes to the afterlife, archaeological evidence also points to Celtic jewelry being found in burials. And it is noted, because the Greeks and Romans and Celts always had a long history together, that it would be good reason why the Romans and Greeks would have adopted the triple spiral, which could also be found in earlier myth that is non-Indo-European. Such as Celtic groups such as the Lingos are a group of Celts who lived in the Italian peninsula near Rome. Now, whether you follow the works of T. Knox or Barry Conlife, it is debatable where they originated. But if you follow Barry Conlife and scholars like David W. Murphy, it is believed that the Celts went east to west. It was once believed that the Lingos left Gaul and went into the Italian peninsula, moved up near the Po River around 400 BC. There is also the possibility they were always there. It is believed the Celts and Greeks and Romans have a long history together, which I've mentioned. So it's no wonder why they have similarities. And the self-proclaimed Latin culture and its association with Indian culture due to the Indo-European migrations, because the neighboring Celts used the Triskelion as a symbol for the other world, as well as the in-between in reincarnation. This right here are photos of the Sicily flag and Roman coins, which is depicting a similar symbol to that of the triple spiral. Roman and Greeks and Celts of the three-legged Triskel from the date 304 BC, and are estimated to be 289 BC as well. And this right here is the Isle of Man flag, which is inspired by their Celtic heritage in the history with Rome, as said above, as well as the parallels found in earlier myth that is not Celtic and pre-Indo-European myth, as well as the association by the sea god Manameklir. Here are photos of the Celtic triple spiral. The one at the bottom is found in Portugal and Galicia, and actually it's also found in Wales, which then corresponds with the Irish myth of the Gaels coming from Spain and Ireland, so the Celts arriving to the UK region. And with archaeological evidence, as well as evidence from universities on the DNA genetics of the peoples of the British Isles, as well as the myths found in that region that the Gaels and Gaelgos from Spain came down into what we know today as the British Isles. Now, this is a hypothesis of mine that it probably happened along the Danube River, because there have been groups of people who are known as the Neolithic farmers, who are similar to the Algonquin tribes of Siberia, who went across Europe, which are groups like the Belbeker people. Or there's also been evidence by a professor known as Barry Fell. He talked about how early Irish settlements happened in the Americas long before the Vikings. And when the Norse came to the Americas, that was discovered after what we believed was the story of Christopher Columbus, but he didn't come to the Americas until like the 14th or 1500s, which he only went to South America, not North America. And I want to add that because Irish monks have been found in the United States around 500 AD. It is also possible that during that time there was other Irish with them who were indigenous believers that believed in what the Celts believed. So it's possible that the cross-cultural aspect could have happened in the Americas as well. I would also like to add you could see symbols from the Germanic peoples too in North American tribes. So that also shows cross-cultural influences over time, which is probably from the Scandinavians that traveled to the Americas as an example. And what we know about the Latin art started with Hinduism before it reached ancient Spain and other regions. Also, in North American tradition, the Triskel is used to mean the afterlife as well as a warrior's homecoming, which dates back to the native people's migrations of Siberia across Europe, going into Canada, then into North America, which is most likely adopted by Celtic peoples or Scythians or Balkan Celts or Romans or Indians near the Danube River during ancient times of the Indo-European migrations. It could also be possible that other groups, such as the Indo-Aryan groups that aren't Scythians, like Albanians and other groups, could have also had this symbol. So it's very hard to tell how the Algonquin tribes of the North Americas, after leaving Siberia, got these symbols. It could have happened in North America, or it could have happened long before. I'm sorry for the mispronunciations of this person's name. He has a PhD in studying Hinduism. The Triple Spell in Hinduism, written by Arthur Joel Paul Jejera, where he writes about the high importance hierarchy. Functionally, they represent the triple functions of the manifested Brahman. Hence, they are also associated with the Trimurtis. And in this story, it has to do with Vishnu, Brahma, the creator god, and Shiva. Shiva and Vishnu. In the Hindu myth, they end up killing Brahma. Vishnu uses his spear and kills Brahma with the spear when Brahma was enraged with power. You could also find this story in Irish mythology when it comes to Lugh and Manny MacLear, and or the Irish figure Dian Cat, depending what parallel you want to draw from based on all Celtic spectrums. But that's Irish mythology, including what is found in David O'Hagan's book when he talks about the two druids that caused the supreme being known as Balor to have his evil eye and cause him to go on a rage. That the fumes of the cauldron struck his eye, which matched how Vishnu and Shiva poisoned Brahma. And sorry for my mispronunciations, but this artifact represents Mahisha, the Trimurti breast sculpture from India, and in Hinduism, which represents Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva in the Trimurti symbol. The key piece of Newcomb's design was a roof box or light box which controlled the light came into the passage. It was built with carefully crafted baffles that restricted the entry of light to the time of the winter solstice, and also so that the light came in at sunrise. So not only is it the Triskelion triple spiral, there is quadruple spirals found at Newgrange as well as in Iscarhera, Basque Country. In 1980, Irish-American researcher Martin Brandon discovers that Carntian Carnbane East is directed to recede beams of the rising sun. On the spring and autumn equinox, the light shining down the passage and illuminating the art. On the backstone of the Carnti alignment is similar to the well-known illumination at the passage tomb at Brú-na-Bóinne, Newgrange, which is aligned to catch the rays of the winter solstice sunrise. The Basque symbol for the sun, solstices, and equinoxes also looks similar to the quadruple spiral found at Brunnaboyne. This symbol is called the Lauburu. The Lauburu in Basque mythology also represents elements of wind, water, fire, and earth. Some additional information about the symbol is that it is dated to 500 AD to 1 BC, just like when the Gaels came to Ireland. There has been speculation regarding whether or not if it is a true Basque symbol or a Celtic symbol that the Basques followed, or a Romanized symbol around the time of Roman rule. And for me personally, I think it is a Celtic and Basque symbol due to what is found in Ireland. A very similar and familiar symbol to that is found at Newgrange. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Enjoy. Until next time.